All right. In three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to episode 209 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don DeLorente, and I'm joined by our returning Rawcast correspondent, Mr. Samuel Kalunga. What's going on, Sam?
Raw still sucks.
Still chipper as ever, I see.
It didn't age at all like in the past few months. It got spoiled. It's like did I tell you guys that I discovered that salad dressing expires?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Certainly does.
Found that out the hard way. But
Oh, sorry
it
about
just like this raw though.
that.
Expired.
The salad dressing's gone bad.
Had no clue.
And we're joined tonight by our WrassleCast broadcast journalist, Mr. Magnum Brown. What's going on, Greg? How's it going, man?
Going good. Just a few days away from making sure Brian Kemp doesn't become the next governor of the state of Alabama. Excuse me, of Georgia. I'm tired, but I will be voting. I hope everyone else does.
Yes, please. Early voting is definitely the way to go. If you still have a few more days in most states to do that. So please do that. This is the WrassleCast. We can be found on the CSPN at www.cspn.us. So, gentlemen, the time has come. The most controversial show in the history of the WWE is upon us. Crown Jewel from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia will be taking place Friday at noon. For those of you who are still going to participate and watch this show, I know this has caused a lot of controversy and a lot of people are basically, checking out on this show. But if you're still going to live tweet with us, the hashtag will be hashtag Run the Jewels Cast. So run DA Jewels Cast for all the people who want to live tweet Crown Jewel. So before we get into the who you got, we'll first get Greg your personal opinion on the show. I know we haven't really talked about it, the controversial part here out in the open on the podcast. We've done it behind the scenes on the Patreon, but just I know when it first happened and the alleged problems came up before it was actually, for sure we had a little bit of discussion. But now that everything in the news has come out, how do you feel that this is going to hurt the WWE in the long run after they come back from this on Saturday and Sunday and going forward?
In the long run, I really have no idea how hard it's going to be on them as far as money wise. It's sad to say. I think there are a lot of fans who they're not really going to care. Myself, I won't be watching. I decided pretty much after Evolution, I wasn't going to watch any type of WWE programming this week. I just couldn't do it. It didn't sit right with me. I think the people who are diehards are probably going to watch it. But I think what will be even more interesting is you put together this cloud that's over it now, and you're going to add Hulk Hogan into the mix, probably more than likely. I think that will definitely force the hand for maybe people who are persons of color to where they might take a step back from it. But I think overall, the fans, they'll probably still, for the most part, they'll still continue to watch the product. It might make the people who are buying ads a little antsy for a while, but it won't be too much negative blowback. I don't think so from the fans. Sad to say.
All right, Sam, you got an opinion on this? I know you've been kind of out of the loop, but you got any thoughts on this show?
Adding Hulk Hogan to the thing is like adding fuel to the fire, and I'm like, okay, well, what's next? Like a Chris Benoit tribute or something, or I don't know. It just seems like They're just
I've been
completely.
kind of back and like I've seen some conflicting reports. I've seen some he's in, I'm seeing some he's out. So I
Yeah,
don't
like,
know. It's gonna
yeah, I
be
didn't really see much. I just saw like somebody tweet something.
yeah, it's gonna be
I was like, oh,
basically
okay.
because he was supposed to. It was rumored he was going to show up at the Greatest Royal Rumble too, and he didn't. So kind of take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, it's just kind of like they're just kind of. I don't know. I don't know what the correct word is, but they're just like kind of like they're just kind of completely clueless in a way. Kind of, I don't know. They're doing all these things with women's empowerment and all these other things they have going on, and they just it's whatever, man.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of different agendas working that aren't pulling in the same direction as far as the messaging that they're sending. So, uh, like I was telling the ladies of the Forever Young cast, we have this group chat going on. The money is never going to be an issue for them anymore. So, not watching, not subscribing, that's a metric that they don't even subscribe to anymore because they're about to get this $1 billion from Fox. They're about to get another $1 billion from USA. So money is never going to be an issue anymore. It's public opinion.
Right, and that's the thing. Like that's what's going to cloud a lot of people. It's like a thing where, okay, well, you don't agree with, with their personal politics and well, I mean, with the company's politics and how they do business or whatever. But as a fan, you're going to continue to watch because it's kind of like you're just kind of used to it. It's like this. It's like the people with the NFL, the people who were like mad at Nike for like hiring for having Colin Kaepernick do an ad or whatever. They're still kind of gonna buy this shit because they love them some Nike.
Right. So yeah. So we'll see. Just if they didn't, we thought maybe on the run up. Remember, Greg, we were talking about maybe if the heat stays on up until the show, that maybe they'll have some second thoughts and maybe they'll do something different. But once the president kind of came out and was like, hey, I don't see nothing wrong with it if people who are doing business want to continue to do business and continue to do business because we're going to operate like nothing's going on too. Then he took his cue from there and said, okay, if he says it's cool, then we're going to go ahead and continue to do what we signed up to do. So
Yeah, it was a done deal at that point. And I mean, it's a tough, it's a very tough business decision because you've entered into this agreement and you're dealing with a country and their head of state to where you rub them the wrong way. That's it. You're done. And that's, it's a lot of money in that particular region. So you don't want the relationship to go sour and you make this agreement. Business wise, I understand it, but morally, I can't touch it. I can't do it.
once millions of dollars get involved, the first two things that go out the window are usually humanity and morality. So that's kind of where they are. You know what I'm saying? They got to honor the thing is they got a contract and they don't want to go back and have to breach that contract because but I think this is the money that the XFL is built on, is having this money, being a part of the financial statement. So, but even if he had to move it to another, maybe one of the Air Force bases or something, one of the military bases in Saudi Arabia, they're still going to have this show. So that's that. So we'll talk about the card now. So play a little who you got for this show. So on the kickoff show, they're going to have Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. So I'll start with the WrassCast correspondent, Mr. Samuel Kalunga. Who you got, man?
Okay, so just based on the names and stuff like that, not based on anything that they've been doing lately, I'm just gonna go Nakamura.
Yeah, I think Nakamura is going to get this one as well. G Money, your thoughts?
Yeah, champ retains.
Yeah, they need to do something to try to heat him up, though. He's just been kind of in idle for the past few months. So hopefully they can figure something out after Crown Jewel to get Nakamura back into a prominent picture. All right, the match that everybody came to see, DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels versus the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker. Magnum Prime, who you got?
I mean, if he's gonna come back for this, I would imagine DX is gonna win. I would imagine that, so I'll go with them.
All right, DX for Magnum Prime. Samuel Kalunga, who you got?
DX as well, only because I know Taker doesn't give two shits about wins and losses.
All right. And yeah, I think DX is going to win as well. Then we're going to have the WWE World Cup, the one night 8-man tournament. So the opening round matchups are Dolph Ziggler versus Kurt Angle. So we'll start with that match. So Sam, who you got?
Dolph Ziggler versus Kurt, just because it looks like they're trying to ride this pony out. So at least give them a couple of matches.
All right. Magnum Prime, who you got?
Yeah, I'll go with Angle.
All right. Next up, we have Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins. Magnum Prime, who you got?
Rollins.
Samuel Kalunga.
Yeah, also Rollins.
All right. I think Seth Rollins as well. Next up, we have Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. Samuel Kalunga, who you got?
Rey.
All right. Magnum Prime, who you got?
Rey.
All right. I'm going to go with Randy Orton because they seem to be giving a push to him right now. And our final first round matchup, we have Jeff Hardy facing off against The Miz. So, Magnum Prime, who you got?
Ooh. I'll take a gamble this time. I'll go with The Miz.
All right. Sam?
I'm actually going to go with Hardy because I know like they're playing this up for, the live crowd. So, they want to pop a crowd, give it to Hardy.
All right. I'm going to go with Jeff Hardy as well. I think, yeah, he's always good for the live attraction. Next up for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, we have The New Day facing off against The Bar with The Big Show. So, Sam, who you got?
A 17,000 heel turn, I see.
Of course, man.
Yeah. I have to go The Bar.
All right. Magnum Prime, who you got?
New Day.
Oh, I'm going to go with The Bar. They haven't had the titles for that long, so I think they'll retain. For the WWE title, we have Samoa Joe replacing Daniel Bryan, who exercised his power to say, no, don't want to be on the show, facing off against AJ Styles.
Oh, so that's why they had the match on Tuesday, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Magnum Prime, who you got?
I'm going with Cena 2.0. I'm going with AJ.
All right. Sam, who you got?
Yeah, I'm also going with AJ.
I want to pick Samoa Joe so bad, but I've been burned the last 2 times we played this game with him. So, yes, I'm going with AJ Styles as well. And our main event of the evening for the vacant WWE Universal title, Brock Lesnar faces off against Braun Strowman. So, Sam, who you got?
I'm going to go with Braun the Strowman.
All right. Magnum Prime, who you got?
I'm going to go with the guy who's not in the water protocols right now. I'm going to go with Braun Strowman.
I'm going to go with Braun Strowman as well. So the Braun Strowman title era starts in Saudi Arabia. I think even though a lot of people won't see it, this is probably going to be a really good show. The only thing that could maybe hem it up a little bit is that DX Brothers of Destruction match. And if one of these World Cup matches may not hit later once they get to the second round, but the title matches should be pretty good. So,
yeah.
Again, that's Friday starting at noon or whenever you watch, because I know a lot of you will be working. But when you do watch, if you want to live tweet about it, again, use the hashtag #RunTheJewelsCast. That will be our official hashtag for our live tweet of Crown Jewel. Just a reminder, this is a WrassleCast.
As Baron Corbin calls it, Crown Jewel.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
He said that.
Oh, it's a slip of the tongue, I'm sure. The WrassleCast can be found on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and Spotify. So, gentlemen, we had Evolution this past Sunday. Thanks to everybody who came out and supported the hashtag ChinaCast. Thank you to Jupiter Julep for the hashtag nomination that won the poll. So we started off hot with Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alicia Fox and Mickey James with Alexa Bliss on the outside. Trish fires up with rights and she follows with a sit-out spine buster for a 2 count. Mickey James fights back and gets rolled up, and then she gets into the ropes for a 2 count. Trish escapes, then she hits Stratisfaction, but Alicia Fox makes the save. We get a twist of fate by Lita, and she heads up top, and she hits the moonsault on both Mickey James and Alicia Fox. We get the chick kick by Trish, and Trish pins Mickey James as Trish and Lita get the win. So I thought this was a good match to open up the show with. It got everybody on their feet. Nostalgia still is the shit. And Lita looked really good. She didn't almost hurt herself on the moonsault. So we're definitely happy about that. And Trish looks like she could still go. So I thought this was a good match. G Money, you get a chance to check this out?
I did. It did start the party off right. Definitely. The veterans, they still look like they could go, as you mentioned. And, the crowd really seemed to be excited about it.
The Bella Twins, they're interviewed about the match later on with Nikki and Rhonda. Nikki dedicates her win to Rhonda's mother and promises to win the title. So we have our women's battle royal for a title shot. Our contestants in this match are Ember Moon, Nia Jax, Tamina, Anna Brooke, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Lana, Tori Wilson, Alundra Blaze, Ivory, Molly Holly, Michelle McCool, Kelly, Maria Kanellis, and Zelina Vega. Asuka and Naomi, they work over Tamina, but Naomi gets tossed out. Ivory attacks Asuka as Ember Moon DDTs Nia Jax. Ember Moon then dumps Carmella out, but Tamina attacks. Asuka eliminates Ivory, and Asuka and Ember Moon battle to NXT champs. We get a knee strike by Asuka, but Ember Moon super kicks her, and she dumps Asuka for some sweet revenge. Tamina attacks, but Ember Moon fights back and then gets caught with a catatonic. We get a super kick to Nia Jax. Ember Moon battles back, and the crowd is behind her. Ember works over Tamina. She heads up top and hits the Eclipse. Then Ember dumps Tamina out. So we're down to Ember Moon and Nia Jax. Nia Jax attacks. She tosses Ember Moon around. Ember Moon is on the apron, but she follows with kicks and drags Nia Jax over the ropes when Zelina Vega sneaks back in. Vega tries, but doesn't fully toss out Nia and Ember. And Nia Jax is back in, and they battle. Nia Jax press slams to Zelina Vega onto Tamina on the floor, so she's eliminated. Ember Moon attacks Nia, but Nia hits a big spine buster. Then Nia throws Ember out, and Nia Jax is the winner of the Battle Royal, and she will be getting a future title shot.
The sobbing Samoan.
You would have really enjoyed this match, Sam, because Ember Moon.
I watched it. Like I said, just something wasn't right, and I don't know. I still can't put a finger on it.
Oh, Ember was the star of this match.
I saw this part. The crowd was really behind her, and then you're like, nah.
Yeah, well, we pretty much knew that Nia was going to get the Andre or Big Show spot, but as far as just somebody getting over in the performance, definitely Ember Moon. So
it just seems like they're trying to push this girl that they've already shown twice that they have no faith in. It just seems kind of like, okay, can't wait for you to lose again, but okay.
Well, we'll see how that works out. Now it's time for the 2018 Mae Young Classic final between Toni Storm and Io Shirai. Both women, they battle to the apron, and Tony hits a headbutt and a German on the apron. They go back in the ring, and Tony covers, and she gets a 2 count. Tony follows up with forearm strikes, and Io Shirai answers back as they trade punches in the center of the ring. Io fires up and pummels Tony, and then she hits a palm strike, and then she runs into a lariat. We get a Storm Zero, but Io kicks out at 2. Io rolls to the apron. She stuns Tony off the ropes, and then she follows up with a 619. We get the springboard sunset flip from Io for a 2 count. Io follows up with the double knees, and she heads up top. But then moonsault gets met with the knees by Toni Storm. Toni Storm hits Storm Zero, and she gets the pin, and Toni Storm is your 2018 Mae Young Classic winner. So a redemption story for Toni Storm. She lost in the semifinals to Kairi Sane last year. This year, she is the winner of the Mae Young Classic. I thought this was a great match, really fitting in to this year's Classic. And if you listen to the Forever Young cast, yes, I've been validated as I wanted Toni Storm to win from the beginning. She was my pick. And to the dismay of my co-hosts, it all came to be. So, G-Money, what did you think about this match, man, between Toni Storm and Io Shirai? Were you impressed with Io Shirai in her first, big-time match in front of the WWE crowd?
I was. I thought both competitors did a really good job. Very good storytelling. And it was probably my second favorite match of the night.
Yeah, they really brought it. I enjoyed that match as well. Next up, we have the Riot Squad versus Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. The Riot Squad runs wild on Sasha Banks, and Natalya makes the save. Logan dumps Natty, and then more double teams follow on Sasha Banks. Ruby goes up top, and Bayley covers Sasha to save her, and Ruby hits the top rope senton on to both Bayley and Sasha. Bayley gets dumped to the outside, and Sasha kicks out at 2. Liv Morgan misses a kick. Ruby and Logan are in, and they miss double teams as Natalya tags back in and runs wild on Logan. And then Ruby tags in, and Natalya fights her off and slams her on Logan and then she does the double sharpshooter. Liv makes the save, and they cover for a 2 count. Liv hits a double stomp, and Bayley tags in. Natalya hits a power bomb. Then we get a top rope elbow by Bayley, and she follows that up with a suicide dive, and Banks then hits the frog splash for the win. So the finishing sequence was pretty cool with the chain moves in a row leading to the Eddie Guerrero tribute from Sasha Banks for the win.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Having not watched anything in months, the last thing I remember seeing was like Sasha and Bayley going at it. What happened to that?
Nothing. They made up.
A fart in the wind.
Nothing.
God.
They made up.
Jesus.
So
I really hate this company.
we have our NXT women's title match as we have the champion, Kairi Sane, defending against Shayna Baszler. Baszler works a hanging arm lock in the ropes and drops Kairi Sane to the floor. Baszler follows and rolls her back in. Kairi Sane counters a suplex into a DDT. She heads up top, and Shayna rolls to the floor. So Kairi Sane jumps off with a high cross to the floor. Kairi Sane then dumps Shayna Baszler into the crowd. Jasmine Duke attacks, and Shayna fights her off. Back in, Marina Shafir distracts and attacks Kairi Sane as well. Baszler locks on the Karabuta clutch. Kairi Sane rolls through just like at TakeOver, and she gets a 2 count. Then Jessica Duke nails Sane. Do we get the Karabuta clutch by Baszler? Kairi Sane fights, but she fades, and the ref waves it off. And we have a new NXT Women's Champion in Shayna Baszler. So we've introduced Marina Shafir and Jessica Duke here into the NXT world as they helped Shayna retain her title. So we're getting that much closer to the 4 horsewomen of MMA versus the 4 horsewomen of WWE. It's probably about another year away though, because Duke and Saphir have to get some training. They're just signed to the Performance Center right now. But I thought this was a really good match. A lot of people were really impressed by this match, by just how vicious Shayna Baszler was and just how much fight Kairi Sane had. Greg, your thoughts on this particular match?
They put together a nice match, but once I saw our homegirls there, okay, I'm like, I already know what the finish is going to be, and that's exactly what happened. So it was a bit anticlimactic for me, but they both performed well.
Pretty much everybody's consensus for match of the night was next for the SmackDown Women's title and the last woman standing match. The champ, Becky Lynch, defended against Charlotte Flair. Becky lays Charlotte onto the announce table. She climbs the ladder, and then she hits a big leg drop and puts Charlotte through the announce table. Becky is up, and then she starts pummeling Charlotte. Becky buries Charlotte under chairs and pieces up the table. The ref starts his count, but Charlotte is alive, and she makes it to her feet before 10. Becky is shocked and can't believe it. Becky starts backing off, and Charlotte attacks with a kendo stick, and she gets a spear on the floor. Charlotte and Becky battle on the apron, and Becky eventually powerbombs Charlotte through a table on the floor. Charlotte can't beat the count, and Becky Lynch retains.
Yay!
Oh, this was a hell of a match. This was really good. Pretty much like I thought it was going to be, but they actually surpassed my expectations on this one. Anything you'd like to add, G, before we move to the main event?
It was down there perfect. If the first table would have cracked, it would have been perfect. But that was like the only misstep of the entire match.
Right. And the announcing was kind of weird, where they do that thing where they're trying to tell you how despicable Becky's been, but the whole time the crowd is going crazy for everything she does.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like, you gotta give the people what they want.
Really, they did that?
Yeah, they're trying to go with the Becky turned her back on her best friend, and she used these.
But her best friend tried to insert herself into her match, so
context is king, as Eric Bischoff would say. Main event time. Ronda Rousey, she faces off, defending her Raw Women's title against Nikki Bella. Ronda hits a follow-away slam, and Nikki rolls to the floor. Ronda chases and rolls Nikki back in when she gets attacked by Brie. Ronda tosses Brie over the announcer's table, and once Ronda is back in, Nikki hits an Alabama slam for a 2 count. Ronda misses a charge. She runs into the post, and then Nikki hits the rack attack 2.0 for a 2 count. Nikki goes to the ropes, but Ronda cuts her off. She heads up top, and she hits a flying roll into an armbar, and Nikki Bella taps out. So your lasting image is Nikki Bella tapping out, Ronda Rousey successful defending the Raw Women's Championship, and then she takes her bow, and then she runs up the ramp where all of the women in the WWE, NXT, Raw, SmackDown are all on the ramp, and they all have this basically big, group hug, or, they all come out and take a bow on the stage. So.
And they pick Stephanie McMahon up and carry her like a Roman god.
No, not quite, but she was in the center of the picture there behind Ronda.
Oh, of course she was.
So, all in all, I thought this was an excellent show. I knew that as far as the performances and the matches that the women would bring it, and they all did. So I really enjoyed this. Final synopsis thoughts, Greg. Your final thoughts on it?
I second that. I enjoyed the show. I would actually like to see them have more than one show a year. I mean, I think it's definitely something that's feasible. So hopefully they'll get a couple special a year where it'll be an all women's card.
They could follow the WrassleCast lead and let them get one like every quarter, like we do with our ladies' night shows.
That's a very good idea, but you would have to charge them for that.
Yes,
at least something,
yes. Gimmick infringement, but it is for sale though.
I ate pizza and watched Evolve. So
I saying for the parts that you did watch, what were your thoughts on it? Besides, you felt a little weird, but as far as matches and things go,
well, they were all completely out of context because I haven't watched anything, and I was just like, I don't care about any of this.
oh
Just because
well,
I haven't seen any lead up. I didn't see anything. It's just two people having a match.
they didn't.
Well,
really
actually,
do
there wasn't a lot of lead up.
Yeah, they didn't.
Was
Do a
it?
lot, no, they didn't do a lot of build to it. They just
You
kind
didn't
of.
miss it.
Yeah, he didn't miss much.
I really because I saw the NYC match, and I mean, you know that I've been singing Io Shirai's praise for a very long time. Glad y'all finally got to see her. Don't really care for Toni Storm. I mean, I just can't get behind her at all.
Join Jupiter Julep, Madame Lizette, and Wet Sleep though. They have the same issues.
Cool.
So you're not alone here on the WrassleCast with that thought.
There's just something about her I just can't. I just cannot.
All right, so that was Evolution. So that was an awesome show. Thank you again, like I said, to everyone who joined us this past Sunday for #ChinaCast, shared their commentary with color on Evolution. It was a lot of fun. So now we'll shift over to Monday Night Raw.
Oh wait, but I did. I was starting to watch the Riot Squad and the other women, but as soon as Sasha and Bailey came out, I was just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, you were hoping they were going to be wrestling each other. Nah,
yeah, I was hoping something. Like if they had been like a featured match on there, those two together, yeah, I would have been all in.
Yeah, sorry, brother. You're not getting that no time soon because they got to have these teams stay together because we got to get these women tag team championships popping at some point.
Are they going to start trying to push for the
yeah,
horsewomen versus horsewomen?
Yeah, it's coming, but it probably won't be till next year though because those girls are still in the Performance Center in NXT. They haven't been moved up to the main roster.
So they haven't made the rooster. All right. Raw. All righty. Hey Don, are you anywhere close to Are you anywhere close to Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm about 2.5 hours. So
okay.
yeah, it's not that far. It's by the time you stop, you get tired of driving, you're there.
So you're closer to Charlotte than I am to like any of the other cities that WWE goes to, like San Antonio or Houston. San Antonio's like a 4-hour drive. Houston's maybe 5. So yeah, whenever they have like shows like in other parts, I can't go to them.
Luckily, they go to 3 places when they come to North Carolina. They either do Charlotte, Greensboro, or Raleigh. So I live in Raleigh. Greensboro is about an hour and 15 away, and then Charlotte's, like I said, 2.5 hours. So it's not that bad to travel to some of these shows if it's a good card.
Yeah, like it's kind of like here. Like whenever any promotion comes here, they do the 3-city tour. Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. ROH is about to do that next year. In January, they're about to hit all 3 cities in 3 days. I'll probably go to the Dallas one, but I don't think I'm going to be doing any driving out there. Alrighty, so Monday Night Raw, live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Boring Corbin is in the ring. He brushes off the announcement from last week and says, life goes on. He's holding the Universal Championship over his arm. He talks smack about Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come down. Brock circles the ring before entering. Apparently, he is going to be in a match for the vacant title on Friday's show. Baron tries to introduce Brock, but Paul takes the mic from him and does his own intro. He gives us a spoiler, guys, write this down, to the upcoming match against Brawny the Strowman. He says Brock will F5 Brawny to become the Universal Champion once again. Brawny comes down. He informs Mr. Lesnar that he will become Universal Champion at Crown Jewel because Brock is gonna get the hands. All right, so Corbin tries to jump Braun, but Braun power slams Corbin twice. Brock finds the whole thing absolutely amusing. He power slams him a 3rd time, but then Brock attacks Brawny from behind and F5s the monster. This was 15 minutes and 52 seconds.
Not quite 20.
Yeah, right. Almost. So a recap of Dean Ambrose attacking Seth Rollins last week. Let's see, Finn Balor versus Bob. Before the match can begin, Casey Haley of Jodeci comes out to hype Bob up.
That's Dougie Fresh, man.
That's another ego, Dougie Fresh. I didn't even think about that one. During the match, Leo has the mic and is hyping about Bob. The match ends when Finn goes up for the coup de grace, but then Leo Rush shoves Balor off the turnbuckle. After the match, Bob grabs Balor, rams him into the barricade and the ring apron over and over. He throws him in the ring and applies the full Nelson. Leo talks smack to a knockout Balor. Now, backstage in the trainer's room, Corbin thanks Bob and Leo for beating up Balor. He says that Bob now officially qualifies for the World Cup at the oppression occasion. That's what I'm calling it. Bob is replacing John Cena, according to Corbin. Okay, so they're going to combine the two matches from the two tag matches from Evolution and have a 10-woman tag match. Lita, Trish Stratus, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Bayley versus the Riot Squad. Alicia Fox, who I didn't even see, and it wasn't until later on that I recognized that she changed her hair. Alicia Fox and Alexa Bliss. Trish and Sarah Logan start the match. Both teams were very out of sync with each other at first. I think it was because it was mostly Trish and Lita, and they don't have much experience with the new girls. At one point, Trish and Sasha hit a tandem flying moves on Sarah Logan. I think it was Sarah Logan, somebody on the ground. It looked like they're about to do the kid and play handshake, but they're interrupted. The faces hit their moves. Natalya puts Alicia Fox in the sharpshooter. She taps, and that is all she wrote. Let's see here. Dasha interviews the sobbing Samoan, Nia Jax. She wants to know when she plans on cashing in her title shot that she stole from Ember Moon at the pay-per-view. She says she will take her on after Ronda's next title defense. Ember Moon appears. She's also interviewed. Let's see here. Ember says that she caught lightning in a bottle. Nia says that she is the one who won, and Dasha should interview her. Ember wants Nia to put some respect on her name, so she challenges her to a match tonight. The Drifter is in the ring. He strums his guitar and talks. Clip from last week of boring Corbin dismissing the Drifter, and then the Drifter coming back and pulling a Jeff Jarrett on Corbin. Goes to the backstage area, walks to Corbin's office, and plays him a song. The Drifter is then jumped by Jinder Mahal. Corbin comes out and delivers a Henny Youngman-like one-liner. It looks like Jinder Mahal tuned you up. How was that, Don? He then made a match between
that writing.
All right. The Drifter versus Jinder Mahal. The Drifter hits Jinder with the drift away and gets the victory.
One time for Elias. Shout out to Miss Dee Janae.
Meh. Hey, Dee, what's up? Kurt Angle selfie video. He says winning the WWE World Cup would be the greatest accomplishment of his career. Is that some horseshit, Don?
His WWE career, maybe that'll be up there highly. Now his whole life career, of course, he won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck. I think that would still rank as number one.
Right. But dude, he's won titles and stuff in WWE. He was the he was the first ever. Was he the first or the second Eurocontinental champion, or did D'Lo Brown do it before him?
No, D'Lo only was the European champion. He was never Intercontinental champion at the
I could have swore he held both belts at one point.
No, D'Lo Brown has never been a 2-belt holder in WWE. Actually, you're a fan of the Jim Cornette podcast. That was the guest on this past week's show. Was D'Lo Brown? It's pretty good.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, you will. It's very funny. He talks about coming up driving the ring truck, and the guy that he drove the ring truck with was straight up racist.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he tells a funny story about when he finally got fed up with him.
I'll have to check that out. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have to. It's holiday season, so I'm gonna have to stock up on some Cornette collectibles.
Yeah, man.
Last year I got some DVDs. I might get some more this year.
He's got the Wrestling Gold and all this stuff going on.
Wrestling Gold is what I got. Like, because I had Wrestling Gold years ago, but then Remember I told you that I had a bunch of tapes and like I
Mm-hmm.
left them in an apartment by accident? That was part of the collection, Wrestling Gold.
He's got the some Mid Atlantic stuff up too. So if you want some old
That
school,
$100 set, I still
yeah,
want that.
yeah. I think he's
I
got
still want it.
a sale on it though. So yeah, listen to the podcast. He goes through and tells you all that good stuff.
Because there is one thing on there that I do want. There's one thing that he has. It's he's running out of copies of. Forgot what it was, but I'll check it out.
The restraining order.
There's no, no. He has this set of DVDs that I was like listening about, and I was like, that sounds interesting. Because I picked up the one, I picked up Wrestling Gold, and I picked up another one, but I'll check it out. All right, so the Ascension versus Rude and Cable versus the AOP. Everyone goes after the AOP right at the jump. Gable and Rude get the win, but AOP jumps them after the match. What do you think about them with Drake Maverick? It just seems kind of weird.
They're not using Drake Maverick to his fullest abilities. He hasn't come out there and cut a promo for him. You know, at least he stopped dressing up like him. So that's a plus.
He was really doing that. I thought that was just like a Photoshop picture.
No, that was real.
No, you're a goddamn liar.
I wish I was.
I refuse to believe that.
I wish it was, but no, that was true. That was a genuine article.
Wow. Yeah, you never saw Paul Ellering put on the shoulder pads and make up.
You got a point there.
All right, so Seth Rollins comes out. He talks about Roman Reigns winning the tag team titles and getting beat up by Dean Ambrose. He wonders if what he did 4 years ago could ultimately not be forgiven by Dean. He wants to talk to Dean tonight. He calls him out. Dean's music plays, but there is no Dean. Instead, Dean appears in the crowd, Shield style, with the spotlight. Seth invites Dean to come down and face him like a man. Dean says nothing. He says at least when he turned his back on the Shield, he had the decency to look him in the eye and tell him why he did it. Dean grabs the mic, looks like he's going to say something, then doesn't. The crowd begins to chant, "You sold out." Seth calls him a cold-hearted bastard and then a lunatic. Seth tells him to stay right where he is because Seth is going to beat an answer out of him. Dean slowly just walks away as Seth stands there near the barricade fuming. Bob and Leo Rush are interviewed by Dasha. I don't know who this person is. They're all Dasha.
That was Dasha.
Really?
Yes, she just cut her hair.
Ah, okay. Leo speaks for him and says a whole lot of nothing. The Sabi Samoan versus Ember Moon. Ember attacks Nia immediately. Nia makes a comeback, slams Ember around. The crowd is completely dead, even when like Ember does like that really sweet diving cannonball onto Nia. The crowd did not give two shits. Was it because it was already late and they wanted to go home, or what?
I don't know. It's hard to say sometimes. You know, depends on, it's tough to have a match that follows like two talking segments.
Yeah, that's true. So Tamina comes down looking like a member of the barge. Both women are distracted, but it's Nia who's able to capitalize and pin Ember. Tamina gets in the ring and stares down Nia and then leaves. So we have our first and only distraction finish.
Take a drink, pour up, drink.
All right, Lucha House Party. What the hell is this?
Kalisto, Lenzo Dorado, and Grand Metalik.
I guess.
You don't
Lucha
watch
House
2,
Party versus
you don't watch
the Revival.
205 Live. If you watch 205 Live, you'll be all about some Lucha House Party.
No, I like the guys individually. It's just kind of weird. I do hear some maracas at ringside though. Is that part of it?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
I like how if you ever see them on like a graphic, they use the like in your house font.
Oh, really?
For the words Lucha House Party. Yeah. Dude,
there's some Hostess cupcake thingies that use the in your house font on the box. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh shit, in your house. Like I'll have to show you. I'll have to send you a picture of it when I see one. All right, so Renee Young calls Corey Graves a hater. as he steps all over Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party wins the match. Corey Graves has just gotten really, really bad lately.
Oh, so bad for no. The real travesty here is a revival. The team that was
yeah, that is true.
destined to be the Raw Tag Team Champions, and then they had injuries, and now they're out here doing jobs to a 205 Live team on Raw.
Right, but Corey Graves still sucks. He's Matt Striker level at this point.
Oh no, he's not Matt Striker level. Don't be out here.
He's pretty. No, he's pretty.
Deceiving the people like that now.
Well, it's a different type. I mean, Matt Striker will like tries to talk to you in a condescending way, kind of like, I know more than you. Corey Graves kind of does that too, but not in the same way. He does it about other things. Like if someone has like a verbal slip, he'll fucking call you on it.
The dynamic has been a lot less of that since Renee's been on doing the shows. But yeah, with Coach for sure, they were.
Because I noticed
jump all over.
Like he started doing that, and then I guess the other guys started doing it to him, and then they all started doing it to each other, and it just got really, really bad.
Oh, yeah, it's a much better and a much different dynamic with Renee. It's more of the like, more clear where he can be like the heel and make up stuff, and then she can come behind him and be like, "Oh, Corey, that's not true." So they've got a much better dynamic now with Corey, Michael Cole, and Renee than Cole, Coach, and Corey.
I see. All right, so Dolph and Drew are in the ring. Drew McIntyre. Oh, Drew McIntyre was the one who calls it Crown Jew. He says he's looking forward to the title match. Dolph says he is confused as to why Kurt Angle is saying he's going to win the World Cup. He has always looked up to Kurt Angle, but he says he is going to cement his legacy. No, he is going to cement his legacy by winning the World Cup. So then Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews. Apollo seems like he's on a roll in this match, but Dolph gets the win with a super kick after lifting his knees as Apollo goes for a dive. Let's see, Undertaker and Kane promo. They're in a graveyard with Shawn Michaels and Triple H tombstones, and that's that. Then now they're in the ring. Undertaker goes in the spooky promo about the Grim Reaper. Mayor Kane goes for an equally spooky promo, talking about whispers and cries. Kane summons Triple H and HBK to the ring. Taker cuts another spooky promo. They're like the Run DMC of spooky promos. They go back and forth. Triple H comes down without HBK. Kane goes to meet Triple H on the ramp, leaving Undertaker alone in the ring. Shawn Michaels and his bald. What is this?
Yeah, no, Shawn Michaels bald his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got no hair at all. Shocking to you, wasn't it?
Was his hairline was it Stevie Wonder level, or did he just do it?
Well, some people, it was thinning, so I guess before he got to that level, he just decided to just go ahead and take it on off.
All right, so Shawn Michaels and his bald head appears behind Taker. HBK super kicks Undertaker. As they celebrate on the ramp, Undertaker sits up. Triple H and HBK slowly back up as Taker's music hits. The lights go down, and that is your Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, so another, 3 hours of okay programming, mostly lackluster, but it had its spots.
Dolph Ziggler and Apollo Crews was the main event.
Well,
I would rather seen Nia Jax versus Ember Moon. That would have been a much better main.
Well, the main event spot, the last match, I guess, yeah. But of course, Kane and Undertaker and HBK, and that was the main event. That's what everybody came to see. Charlotte actually got a pretty good selection of people. They got Brock, they got Braun, they got DX, they got Undertaker and Kane. Not bad.
Yeah, they got Trish Stratus and Lita.
Yeah. They got a pretty good selection of performers. So if you went to that show live, you got to see some nostalgia and some new stuff. So.
Oh, and Tamina as well. Who I always go up for Tamina.
Yes, she's been back for like 2 weeks now, so good to see Tamina back. I'm glad that she doesn't have like a broken nose, because when Nia Jax tossed Zelina Vega out of the Royal Rumble, she was trying to throw her onto Tamina, like so Tamina could catch her, And Zelina Vega's knee hit Tamina all up in the face and nose.
Dang.
Yeah, it looked like she might have a broken nose.
It was Trish did it to somebody. I don't know if it was Sarah Logan or Alexa Bliss or somebody. She hit somebody and they landed face first, and it looked, and she was holding her face for a while. I was like, that did not look good.
So I will step up and take over the SmackDown duties for Miss Didi Jonay this week, as she is still over in Deutschland. So she will be.
I've been following the pictures. I've been on the book face.
So she will be returning next week with lots of tales of her shenanigans. So I can't wait to hear what she got into over in Deutschland. So we'll be looking forward to Didi returning next week. So SmackDown is coming to us this week from Atlanta. So of course we start with AJ Styles. AJ calls out Daniel Bryan. AJ says he has something to tell Daniel. Styles says he feels he needs to apologize for last week. Daniel Bryan says it's cool because he respects AJ and they are fighting for the same thing. Daniel says all he sees right now is the WWE Championship, and it's all that kept him fighting to come back. And now AJ stands in the way of him reaching his final dream. Nothing personal, but he's taking the title from AJ on Friday. Styles is actually sorry because last week was no accident. He meant to kick Daniel Bryan. Nothing personal, but I look forward to doing it again. Daniel isn't shocked and doesn't lie and wants to hit Styles right now. AJ says they don't have to wait until Friday. He will defend the title right now. Shane McMahon arrives. He makes the match for tonight and says it will happen right now. So we have AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. AJ Styles springboards in. Bryan counters and gets an armbar. AJ Styles fights, but Daniel Bryan gets the yes lock. AJ fights and rolls, and he is trapped into a triangle. Styles powers up into the Styles Clash and then transitions into the Calf Crusher, and Daniel Bryan fights for the ropes, but Daniel Bryan eventually has to tap, and AJ Styles retains. Both men, they celebrate post-match when Samoa Joe attacks, and he beats the shit out of AJ Styles. The Coquina Cuts follows when Daniel Bryan makes the save until Samoa Joe clips his bad leg and then chokes out Daniel Bryan as well. So really good TV match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. This is the way that they get Daniel Bryan off of the Crown Jewel show, but still deliver the title match between him and AJ Styles. Much better booking of how to get somebody out of the show than they did for John Cena. And then, of course, Samoa Joe comes in.
I mean, last year.
Yeah, and Samoa Joe comes in at the end to kind of reestablish himself. So this was a really good opening segment to the show. Paige is backstage. She praises Charlotte for her match at Evolution. Paige wants Charlotte to captain the SmackDown women at Survivor Series, but Charlotte doesn't think that she's the right woman for the job. Paige gives her a pep talk, and Charlotte said that she will consider it. We have Big E and Cesaro in a trick or street fight. So, of course, we always have a trick or street fight. So we have, we always have a themed, holiday, Halloween type of street fight. So this year it's between Big E and Cesaro.
They really need to make the SmackDown before Halloween. They really need to make it into like a Halloween Havoc type show, because that would be great.
Yeah,
with the inflatable demon and everything.
The New Day, they come out dressed up as the Brood, so it was really cool. Big E was Gangrel, Xavier Woods was Edge, and Kofi was Christian, so that was really cool.
Now this only counts if they call it Mysterious Red Liquid.
Big E suplexes Cesaro onto the pumpkins. Sheamus cuts Big E off, but Big E sends Sheamus through a table. Big Show attacks Kofi and Woods, but he gets sprayed in the face with the red liquid. Cesaro looks for the neutralizer, but Big E missed Cesaro in the face with the red liquid. Then Big E hits the big ending, and Big E gets the win. So yes, they went all the way with the Brood gimmick. So it was awesome. Shane meets with The Miz, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Jeff Hardy about the World Cup to determine the best in the world. They trade cliche sound bites about wanting to be the best. Shane wants one of his guys to win, and if they fail in the finals, they won't have a home on SmackDown. AJ Styles meets with Paige in the back, and he says that he wants Samoa Joe at Crown Jewel, and Paige grants him the match. Next up, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus R-Truth. This was supposed to be Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, but Ty Dillinger broke his hand, so he was out of the match.
So you can only count to 5.
Yeah, unfortunately. Nakamura cuts off R-Truth with a couple of head kicks. Then we get a knee strike for a 2 count. Truth counters the reverse exploder, but Nakamura cuts off Truth and finishes him with the Kinshasa. So Shinsuke Nakamura is your winner. Becky Lynch, the SmackDown Women's Champion, is here. She's sporting a I Am the Man shirt. Becky Lynch smiles as she reminds us that she won at Evolution and she went through hell and she kept getting up. She's the last woman standing, and everyone knows that she's the rightful main event. She proved that she proved her claims of being the man by beating Charlotte Flair. She mentions her upcoming match with Ronda Rousey and that Rousey had her opponents beaten even before the match, but she can't do that to her. She's not here to cosplay or shield a reality show. Becky says that she's here to rip Ronda's arm off. So Becky Lynch has been killing it since SummerSlam.
Yeah. I'm really impressed by Becky Lynch. I've really changed my mind about her. Like I used to be like, she's such a doof.
Yeah, she used to be. She's for a long time. She was a running joke on this show. But can't joke on Becky anymore.
The arena.
Yeah, we can't joke on Bex anymore, man. She's killing it.
Oh no, I love her. She's great.
Samoa Joe cuts promo. He tells AJ Styles that he should have known he wasn't done with him yet. Everything is not okay, and now he gets to write their final chapter, and Joe will become the WWE champion. We get our main event of the evening: Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton and The Miz. Rey flies in and runs wild on The Miz. We get a DDT, and that gets 2 count. Miz cuts Rey off with the backbreaker neckbreaker combo for a 2 count of his own. Rey counters the skull-crushing finale. Jeff Hardy tags in, and Rey follows with a Hurricane Rana. Jeff hits a drop kick. Rey hits the 619. The Swanton Bomb from Jeff Hardy finishes The Miz. After the match, Randy Orton dishes out RKOs to all 3 men, Miz, Rey, and Jeff, to stand tall after the match. So I really enjoyed this episode of SmackDown. SmackDown is really enjoyable to watch. It's an easy watch, and they make it fun to watch. So I thought this was a really good show. Like I said, a really good way to get Daniel Bryan off of the crown jewel, but also deliver the championship match. So, the New Day dressing up as the Brood, that was fun. So I thought this was a really good SmackDown. This edition of the WrassleCast is being brought to you by the good folks over at Blue Apron. Head over to blueapron.com through cspn.us. Head over to Blue Apron, and then there you can sign up to get pre-packaged meals sent to your house. You can pick your own menus. You can also, how often you want them to be sent to your house. You can basically anything that you want to eat. If you're vegetarian, if you're trying to diet, if you want, a little bit more meaty choices or healthier choices, fish, chicken, all of the things you can decide. And once you do that, Blue Apron will be sending these items to your house, and then you can have meals that you prepare in 30 to 45 minutes. And Blue Apron is also offering $30 off your first purchase when you sign up today. So go to cspn.us, click on the tab that says Keep Our Podcast Free, scroll down to Blue Apron, and sign up to start getting fresh meals delivered to your home today. So we'll go into our final review. We have NXT, as we have our first matches between Mercedes Martinez and Nikki Cross. Mercedes
Is she officially signed, or
I don't know if she's officially signed or if this was kind of like a holdover from the Mae Young.
oh, because they filmed it a while back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Mercedes,
she was up on. She was on. No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, she was on the not the last Shine show, but the one before that. She was going for the title and she lost. And I don't know if she's been back on the show yet or not.
gotcha. Well, Mercedes hits two backdrop drivers, and then she hits a release German. She hits a running knee, and she goes for the Fisherman Buster. But Nikki manages to counter that into a swinging net breaker. Nikki then hits the purge, and Nikki Cross is your winner. Candice LeRae, dressed in all black like the Omen, comes out and questions Nikki Cross. She wants to know why she revealed that Johnny Gargano was the attacker. Nikki just laughs in her face. Candice wants to know why she's messing with people's lives. Nikki leaves and just continues to smile. As Nikki reaches the top of the stage, Aleister Black walks out, backing Nikki away. Nikki goes the other way, and Aleister Black heads towards Candice. Black seems to ask where Johnny is, and Candice says he's not here. Aleister Black comes back to say that Johnny's future in NXT is gone. We have the Mighty Don't Kneel, the Aussies, versus the Street Profits. Dawkins hits the spinning Stinger Splash and tags in Montez Ford. Thorne takes out Dawkins and they trip up Ford. That sets up a sit-out powerbomb suplex combo on Ford, but Dawkins makes the save. Dawkins hits the Sky High on Miller, but Thorne breaks up the pin. Ford ends up on the apron. He fights off a suplex. Montez Ford leaps to the top and delivers a frog splash, and the Street Profits get the win. Backstage, William Regal is interviewed by Kathy Kelly. He announces that Tommaso Ciampa will defend his title against Velveteen Dream at TakeOver War Games. Aleister Black comes up to Steven Regal to find out where Johnny Gargano is. Regal says he gave Johnny the night off, but Black will face him at TakeOver. Aleister says Johnny's future in the company will fade to black. Outside, Lars Sullivan is destroying property. An interviewer asks him what's wrong. Lars is pissed that the NXT title shot isn't his, and he says that he'll rip Dream in half before the match and take his spot. Luke Menzies versus the debuting Matt Riddle. Menzies wears Riddle down with a chin lock. Riddle gets free, hits a creative kick, and he nips up. He misses a PK. He lands on his feet on a missed moonsault and goes right into a senton. The PK connects, followed by the knockout knee, followed by MMA elbows and the bro mission. And Matt Riddle is a winner in his NXT debut.
No, this only counts if there was a bro chant.
Oh, there was.
All right, okay, cool.
It comes up on his little Titantron thing too. King of the Bros.
I completely approve them.
We get clips of Shayna Baszler winning the NXT Women's title with the help of her fellow horsewomen. Kathy Kelly caught up with them after the match. Shayna again says that she lost in Brooklyn, not that she got beat. Kairi Sane tries to come over and fight, but she's hurt and held back by a referee. Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan versus Humberto Carrillo and Raul Mendoza. Mendoza hits an enziguri in the corner on Burch, but his second attempt leads to a hip toss into the corner by Burch. We get a tag to Oni Lorcan, who hits Carrillo with a running uppercut. We get the elevated DDT by Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan, and they get the win. Backstage, the Undisputed Era talking smack about being on top of the world and having Bobby Fish back. As Adam Cole starts to talk, he gets pulled through the curtain and attacked. It's the War Raiders. The War Raiders throw all four members of the Undisputed Era around. Adam Cole is thrown into a structure. The fight moves outside, where we see people eating. The War Raiders lawn dart Adam Cole into a trailer, just like Rey Mysterio back in the day. They launch Bobby Fish over a table. They slam Kyle O'Reilly onto a table. Roderick Strong arrives with a trash can, and he uses that to help turn the tide. Ricochet then runs on the scene and leaps off the table to wipe out everybody. Ricochet and Adam Cole reignite their rivalry. Ricochet is thrown into a guardrail. while Bobby Fish whacks Hanson with a trash can lid. Bobby Fish is then slammed into a garage gate. Kyle O'Reilly is thrown into that same gate as well. Raymond Rowe beats on Roddy, and the battle comes back into the arena. Rowe launches Roderick Strong over the guardrail and into the ringside area with a hip toss. Ricochet and Cole have made it to the ringside area as well. Bobby Fish uses a chair to neutralize Hanson, and the Undisputed Era are back in control, beating on their three opponents. That's when Pete Dunne's music hits, and the UK champion comes out with a chair. He hits Adam Cole. He slams Adam's Cole hand with the chair before throwing the chair at Kyle O'Reilly. Ricochet sends Roderick Strong packing, and Rowe slams Roddy. William Regal comes out to tell them that this fight won't happen this way, and they can finish it at War Games. So that's going to be your War Games match. It's going to be the Undisputed Era versus the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. So
Nice.
that's how your NXT ended for this week. So yeah, that was a really good angle, man. That was a really good brawl. They were really going for it, man. They fought for about 7 or 8 minutes. And for the War Raiders to not like get blown up doing all that wild brawling, that was pretty impressive. So anything that you'd like to add, Sam, that you before I give you your chance for shout outs and thank you?
Well, just really quickly. Nothing to add about the shows, but I guess I'll say my piece on the shout outs.
Go ahead. Shout outs and thank yous.
So shout out to Lady Nikki, of course, or as she's now known, Latina_latte on Twitter. Let's see. Shout out to you, Don, for let me come on here. Let's see here. I guess that's it for that. I just wanted to let everybody know that the homie Asia Pereira was on a recent Evolve show. It was a 4-way match. Asia Pereira, Dimension DeRose. Why am I blanking on her? Why am I blanking on her name? She was in the Mae Young Classic. Kelly. Anyway, I can't think of her name right now, but she's like a Paige knockoff. Anyway, and her and Kiera Hogan had a nice 4-way match at a recent Evolve show. So good to see Asia Pereira go out there doing her thing. And she's also tomorrow, which depending on when you hear this, Friday. Okay, well on Friday she'll be going for the Nova Championship at Shine Wrestling against Candy Cartwright. So check that out, Shine 54. And I think that's about it.
All right. I want to thank Sam for joining us tonight. I'd also like to thank our WrassleCast broadcast journalist, Magnum Prime, for joining us as well. Since I wasn't on the show last week, I'd just like to thank everybody who has, listened to the WrassleCast for the last 4 years. If you've tweeted us, listened to one episode, participated in a live tweet, retweeted one of the episodes when it came out, we greatly appreciate everything that you guys have done to help, build this community. And hopefully we provided you with 4 years of great entertainment, and hopefully we can continue to do so in the future. While I have Sam here, I'd like to direct all of y'all who are big into the Monday Night War time of wrestling, Attitude Era time, Monday Night Nitro, that they have an exclusive Patreon only podcast, Sam and Quantum Central R, where they review the Monday Night War Raws and Nitros. So they start at the very first episode of Nitro and they're working their way through. So go check them out over on patreon.com/ESPN Media.
So yeah, don't let WWE romanticize the shit. Some of it was pretty bad. A lot of it was pretty bad.
So go check them out over on Patreon for their thoughts. Check out our Patreon page in general. Support our sponsors as well. Shout out to all the WrestleBays, all the members of the Glow, Jade to the Max, Madam Lizette, What Sleep Though, Jupiter Julep. Listen to the Forever Young cast. We've got one last episode coming out this weekend, so check that out and look out for that. New Japan fans, this Saturday, Power Struggle is going to take place. We're going to have Jericho defending his IWGP United States Championship against Evil. So that should be pretty fun. Plus, we're going to have the finals of the Junior Tag League tournament. So that should be really fun. Remember to use the hashtag Cast a Strong Style when you're watching and live tweeting that as well. And like I said, on Friday, starting at noon, use the hashtag Run the Jewels Cast to share your commentary with color on the Crown Jewel event. So,
or watch a show that actually empowers women, Shine 54.
that as well. So on that note, for Samuel Kalunga and Magnum Prime, I'm Don De La Rente. Please stay tuned for the parting promo. All right, brother man, I appreciate you.
All right, cool. If you'll have me back, I can start doing the show again.
Yeah, if you start watching, if you're good again, let me know, man. Just
Yeah, shit was just kind of weird for a minute.
Okay, well, if you're back on, then I'll check with you before, or just send me a text, be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text. But yeah, thanks for letting me do this, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for stepping up, because I was like, oh man, I had to work on Tuesday, so I couldn't really spend the evening going through the SmackDown Matters live chat and finding somebody. So I'm glad you were free. So that worked out perfect.
Hey, can you? I know it's quintessential this, but like, can you see if you can get us a third chair for the